Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Red Tech here, and today I'm going to be talking about the iPhone SE and how good of a phone it is, but how boring it is as well. I know it's going to be, a little funny because, like I said, this phone is really good, but at the same time, I feel like it's just really boring at the end of the day. I don't think it rings, any bells like that. I don't think it exceeds, anywhere. And when it comes to cameras or software or the way the phone is built, it gets the job done. I mean, it does everything. It does, you could text, make phone calls, watch YouTube, any of the simple things that you want to do on it. But if you want a phone that does more with a better screen, better cameras or better software, I don't think this is going to be it. But if you're in the market and you're looking for, a little budget phone that's going to do everything, then I think this is going to be it. For me, in my personal experience, that I've had this phone for, the iPhone SE for about 2 months already, I feel that it is, like I said, it's a very boring phone. I don't feel like I'm into it as much as I have been in my past previous phones. So, for example, I'm going to go back to my first Android phone that I got in like 2-3 years ago. So, when I moved away from iPhone. So, the last iPhone that I had was an iPhone 7 Plus. And everything before that, I had the iPhone 6, iPhone 6s, iPhone 6 Plus, iPhone 5, I think. And then, like I said, that was before. So then I noticed that every year and every generation, it was always the same thing when it came to Apple. Like, I don't think they really changed anything. The camera might have gotten a bit better, but it's not like you notice a big difference between them. The battery probably stayed the same between each one, unless you had the Plus or the regular version. But like I said, throughout each generation, it's been basically the same. Screen has always been the same as well. I don't think it got any better as well. So for me, it was time for me to change. I decided to look into Android because before I got into the Apple, Apple phones, I had a Samsung Galaxy, I think it was a 5S. I don't remember the name of it. I think it was the Galaxy 5S, and that phone gave me so much trouble. Like, I think that's probably one of the worst phones that I've ever bought. I don't know if maybe my phone was defective or it's just the way it was, but that one would always get super hot. Like, that phone would get hot for anything. That's one thing I didn't like about it. And I just hated it. The standby time was horrible on it. So, for example, if I left it, charged at 100 before I went to sleep, by the time I woke up, it was already like at 92%. So I had a horrible standby time. And for some reason, it was like really, really slow. Like, I don't know if it was for me, it felt like it was always lagging. So if I wanted to open up an app, I felt like it dragged to open up an app. If I wanted to text, I felt like the latency when you press the buttons, it was too big. I didn't like it that much. So I literally had it for, I think, a few months, and I wanted to get rid of it as fast as I could. So that's when I moved on to the iPhone 5S, or the iPhone 5, I think it was. A few years passed. Same thing with Apple, nothing really changed. I moved on from the iPhone 7 Plus, and I ended up getting the LG G6. Now, at the time when I bought the LG G6, I think it came out before the iPhone 7 Plus. In terms of which came out first, yeah, the iPhone was more brand new and it was more up to date. But like I said, at the time, I didn't really know much about phones like that, like I do now. So when I was doing my research, I don't know, the LG kind of caught my attention, and at the time it was only $500. So it was pretty cheap, and I decided to get it. So I played with it for like a week or two, and I think that's when I literally like falling in love with phones and tech. So like I said, that didn't have the latest processor. I think it had a Snapdragon 821, and then the latest one was 835 by then. So it was already one generation behind. So like I said, I didn't notice the difference. So it was pretty fast. The camera was really good. That's the first time I had a camera that had an ultra wide camera, and I used it so much. Like, I didn't think that lens meant so much to me. Like, I used it for a lot of things. So that's one of the reasons why I liked it. And it had pretty good screen. I think it had a 5.8 inch or 5.7 inch LCD. It had an LCD screen, but I feel like it was a lot better than the iPhone 7 Plus screen. And other than that, I love the charging on it. I didn't know about fast charging back then. So I guess throughout every iPhone that I had, the 5 watts, I thought that was just standard for every phone. 5 watts, for the iPhone 6, 7, whatever. It used to charge very slow. But it didn't bother me because, like I said, I didn't know there was better things out there. So when I finally moved on to that LG G6, it had 18 watt fast charging, I think. And so when I started charging it, I noticed that it would charge the phone super fast, and I felt like I didn't have to charge it at night no more. So what I would do, I would usually charge it at work for like a good 30 minutes, and I'll be up to like 80-90%. So that's one thing I did love about it. LG G6 is probably where I started getting into phones, and I started reading about other phones in the market. That's when I think when I first found out about OnePlus. I didn't know much about it, but that's when I kind of first realized what it was. And I started looking into Samsung phones and all the LG phones, like the LG V30 at the time. Like it was a really big phone back then. And so yeah, that's one of the reasons why I kind of thought Apple or this iPhone SE is pretty boring to me. So like I said, I don't want to say that this phone is bad or this and that. Like I said, it is a good phone, but just know that if you're a phone enthusiast and you want to get this phone, it is gonna do everything you want it to do, but it's also a boring phone, like I said. So I don't think it's gonna blow you out the water. It's gonna be doing the it's gonna do everything else pretty decent. But I think if you're looking for more better camera, better specs, then I think you should wait on it, and you should probably get, if you want to stay in the Apple ecosystem, wait till the iPhone 12 comes out. If you want to move on from the Apple ecosystem, then there's so many Android phones out there. I could talk about all of them, but I'm not going to be doing that. Like I said, there's so many choices out there for you to choose from. I'm going to compare this phone, the iPhone SE, which is what I'm recording off of right now, and I'm going to compare it to the Pixel 3a that I bought, I think around 4 months ago. The one I think is better, in my opinion, I think it's going to be the iPhone SE. They're both priced at around the same price range. They both do the same thing basically. But I think at the end of the day, the iPhone SE just delivers better quality around everything that you want to do during the day. If we want to take photos, it's good. If you want to watch videos, it's good. The battery is obviously not that great, but everything else is pretty good. Where the Pixel 3a did excel was the camera. So the camera on the Pixel 3a was amazing. Like it was like, I could tell if you compare this phone to that phone, the pictures that it takes, the Pixel 3a will kill the iPhone SE. But I'm not saying the iPhone SE is bad at all. It is a really good phone. iPhones always have good cameras. They've never had bad cameras. But the thing is that iPhone is so consistent with their phones, and that's not the only thing that they deliver that's good. Like I said, they deliver everything else that's pretty good. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, I'm pretty sure you're never gonna move on. But the Pixel 3a, I ended up returning it just because I didn't feel like it was quick enough for me. That's one of the reasons why I think the iPhone SE is a lot better, because it has a better processor. Everything else, it basically does the same, but like I said, the iPhone is just way faster in my opinion. That's one of the reasons why I did return the Pixel 3a, because I felt like it just didn't meet to my expectations. I probably did go in with high expectations. I should have never done that, but it is what it is now. I returned it, and I think this phone is a better overall phone at the end of the day. So if you're looking for a phone that does everything right, like it doesn't lack in anything, maybe except battery, because the battery is pretty bad on this one, if you use it a lot. If you're a person who doesn't really use their phone, if you're just a person who uses their phone just to text, make phone calls, maybe some web browsing, then this phone would be perfect. But for me, since I do a lot of web browsing, I do a lot of YouTube watching, I take a lot of pictures, I record a lot off this phone, I don't think the battery is that good for me. It's not good enough for me, so that's why I'm trying to move away from this phone. I'm trying to decide what phone I should get next. If you're in this range, if you're trying to spend $400 on a phone that does everything, this phone will be perfect for you. But like I said, at the end of the day, just keep in mind that this is a good, boring phone, okay? Let nobody else tell you different. This is a good, boring phone, all right? If you guys have any suggestions of what phone I should get next, please let me know. I'm very indecisive right now what I want to get between Samsung, or I should wait for the OnePlus 8T, or I should wait for the new iPhone. Please let me know in the comments below. So make sure you guys like and subscribe my videos, and I'll see you guys next time.